Have you ever been curious about the underground transactions in the natural world? We often think that the love and attachment of animal species are only based on the instinct to maintain the species, or superficial, showy courtship displays. But the reality is much more complex and interesting. In the human world, we sometimes see relationships built on material exchange. People can use money or valuable items to exchange for attention, physical privileges, or a commitment of attachment. You can call it pragmatic bartering or whatever name you want. The amazing thing is that this behavior is not exclusive to humans. Mother Nature has long witnessed similar transactions in countless different species of creatures. Many animal species early on realized the power of material objects, and they know how to use materials to invite mates in a highly calculating manner. They do not have paper money or credit cards, but they have their own assets carrying equivalent value in their world. There are males willing to go collect the most beautiful stones or the fattest prey to bring and offer to the females. Their purpose is very clear and straightforward. They want to exchange that gift for a mating opportunity. If the female nods to accept the gift, an implicit contract will be signed between the two parties. This exchange takes place so nakedly and instinctively that it makes even scientists surprised. We will together peel back the mysteries behind these highly calculating behaviors. Why do some species of creatures choose the method of using material things to exchange for affection instead of relying on muscle strength or singing voice? Is it purely a survival strategy, or behind it are hidden other complex biological calculations? Let us begin the journey to one of the harshest places on the planet, Antarctica. In this freezing land covered in ice and snow all year round lives a creature named the Adelie penguin. On the outside, they look incredibly adorable with their waddling gait and black and white plumage as if wearing dapper suits. However, hidden behind that innocent exterior is a society full of schemes and material calculations. To understand the behavior of this bird species, we need to look at their living circumstances. The breeding season in Antarctica is extremely harsh, and for the eggs not to freeze on the cold rocky ground, the penguins must build nests. But the problem is that in Antarctica, there is absolutely no mud or soft branches. The only thing they can use to make nests is small pebbles scattered on the beach. Precisely because of this scarcity, pebbles inadvertently become the currency with the highest value in Adelie penguin society. Just as humans cherish diamonds or gold and silver, this bird species considers the stones as their most precious asset. The males who desire to have a mate will have to work exhaustingly day and night to search for and gather pebbles in order to build a truly large and solid nest. The taller the nest and the more stones it has, the more the male demonstrates his financial potential and ability to care for a family. However, the search for stones is extremely arduous and tiring. Many males even develop the habit of stealing stones from neighbors to build up their own nests. The war to scramble for pebbles always takes place fiercely in every flock. And this is exactly when the female birds show their amazingly sharp and pragmatic nature. Instead of laboriously searching for stones themselves and facing the risk of being attacked, some females have found a highly scheming shortcut. They begin to target single males with massive assets, which are nests fully piled with beautiful pebbles. A female, when needing stones to consolidate her own nest or her nest with her official mate, will stroll around the area of the wealthy males. When finding a satisfactory target, the female will approach and start carrying out flirtatious courtship behaviors. She will bow her head, nod, and cast a look full of amorous intent toward the male. The unexpected appearance of a proactive female makes the male ecstatic and quickly fall into the net of love. What will be, and they perform the mating act right at that pebble-filled nest. But the crux of the entire story lies in the moment right after the lovemaking ends. Instead of staying to build a happy family as is usual, the female immediately bends down to pick up the biggest and most beautiful pebble in the male's nest, then nonchalantly holds it in her beak and waddles back to her real nest. The transaction is completed. One side gives away physical satisfaction, and the other side pays the price with a precious pebble. When researchers first recorded this phenomenon, they were truly stunned. It is hard for anyone to believe that a bird species could carry out exchange behaviors with such clear commercial nature. There are even females who are more sophisticated when they only need to pretend to court to trick the male into letting his guard down. While the male is still sinking into the illusion of an impending mating, the female has quickly snatched a stone and run away out of sight. Those are brazen romantic scams, but they bring very high economic efficiency. Scientists have observed that a female can repeat this behavior with dozens of different males to bring back dozens of pebbles without expending a bit of effort on searching in distant, dangerous places. This cunningness goes far beyond what we have ever imagined about the calculating ability of animals. Should we judge this behavior of the Adelie penguin according to human moral standards or not? The answer is definitely no, because the truth is that in the natural world, the concept of morality absolutely does not exist. Every behavior, no matter how calculating or pragmatic it seems, originates from a supreme pressure, which is survival. For female penguins, producing an egg requires a massive amount of energy. If they continue to consume energy to wait around searching for stones, the risk of exhaustion and losing their lives is very high. The disease of freezing to death always lurks in every corner of this continent. Furthermore, having a solid nest is a vital factor so that the egg does not freeze and the chick has a chance to be born safely. By using affection or mating opportunities to exchange for stones, the females are presenting the smartest economic math problem for the survival of the next generation. They use a temporary biological privilege to ensure the lives of the children about to be born. Those cold stones actually carry the warmth and hope for a new generation. This behavior also shows the amazing flexibility and learning ability of the wild world. They are aware of the partner's needs and know how to use what they have to exchange for what they need. The pebble transaction of the Adelie penguin has completely broken the prejudice that animals only act according to blind instincts. They are completely capable of assessing benefits and risks and then carrying out complex agreements to optimize the chances of survival. This story is clear evidence for the fact that material things not only have power in human society, but are also a sharp survival tool in nature. When witnessing the waddling birds carrying away a stone after a lightning fast romance, we can see the shadow of pragmatism, but at the same time, also the marvel of the law of evolution. But Adelie penguins are not the only pragmatic ones in nature. If you think using pebbles to exchange for affection is already an amazing calculation, then let us leave the icy region of Antarctica to step into the dense tropical forests in Australia and New Guinea. Here, there is another bird species that also depends completely on material things to search for a mate, which is the bowerbird. The male birds of this species are dubbed the greatest collectors and architects in the wild world. If penguins only use simple pebbles to exchange, the bowerbird elevates the use of material things to a new height deeply imbued with artistry and luxury. The male birds do not build nests to incubate eggs at all, but they spend consecutive weeks to build complex architectural structures with only a single purpose, which is to show off their wealth and aesthetic taste to lure females. This structure is created from meticulously intertwined branches, but the real highlight lies in the collection of objects that the male uses to decorate around it. From early morning to late at night, the male birds take the effort to fly everywhere to pick up anything with colorful hues. They bring back berries, snail shells, fresh flower buds, and especially they really like items from humans such as plastic bottle caps or broken pieces of glass. They will arrange this collection extremely carefully, classifying each item according to color, tone, and size to create the most magnificent display area. When a female flies past, she will land and leisurely walk around to inspect and evaluate this fortune. The female completely does not care about honeyed words or shows of muscle strength. She only focuses on examining the rarity, the shininess, and the abundance of the pile of objects. Like a blind date between tycoons, if the collection is massive and impressive enough, the female will nod in agreement to mate right at that luxurious architectural structure. The interesting thing is that this wealth also arouses smoldering greed and envy among the males with each other. Many males regularly lie in wait when neighbors are absent to fly over and steal the most precious decorative items to bring back to enrich themselves, while simultaneously destroying the opponent's chances of finding a mate. Through this story, we again see material exchange clearly present, and sexual attraction is decided completely by the amount of assets an individual possesses. The stories about material exchange do not just stop in the world of bird species. In the microscopic worlds of tiny insect species like danceflies, the transactions are even of a much more vital and cruel nature. Many female insect species have a very strong hunting instinct. They can even eat their mate if they are feeling hungry. The male dancefly knows very clearly that approaching a female empty-handed is a suicidal act because he will immediately become a light snack. To solve this deadly problem, the male fly is forced to prepare a highly nutritious bribe gift. He will fly off to hunt a fat prey like a mosquito or another small insect species. After that, he starts to spit silk to carefully wrap the prey in a thick layer of silk, creating a complete gift package. When approaching the female, the male fly will offer this gift package forward as an invitation. If the female accepts the offer, she will embrace the gift package and start using her proboscis to suck the lucrative fluid from the prey inside. While the female is engrossed in enjoying the dish, the male fly will take advantage of this golden opportunity to proceed with mating. The exchange here is extremely fair, a delicious meal to exchange for the maintenance of the species. However, the thing that makes the dancefly species interesting is the habit of cheating in these transactions. Hunting a real prey requires a lot of effort and brings many risks, so some male flies have thought of the most sophisticated, deceitful tricks. Instead of gifting a valuable prey, they pick up a worthless seed or a dry leaf fragment, or even they just roll up an empty ball of silk. To compensate for the lack of quality, they will roll and wrap that fake core with many thick layers of silk outside so that the gift package looks as huge and attractive as possible. They hope that the grandiose external appearance will deceive the vision of the female, and the reality is that these scams regularly succeed brilliantly. When receiving the huge gift, the female will very happily agree to mate without even knowing she is being deceived. Because the gift package is wrapped with too many solid silk layers, the female has to spend quite a long time to unravel it. By the time she suddenly realizes there is no piece of meat inside at all, that cunning male has excellently completed maintaining his lineage and flown away to escape long ago. Nature has taught us that animals also know how to use material things to make deceitful bait. The bottle caps of the bowerbird or the empty silk gift package of the fly species both prove that animals have extremely abundant methods of negotiating romance with material things. Why do these material exchange behaviors persist stubbornly in the animal world? To answer this question, we need to look through the lens of evolutionary biology. In nature, animals have no concept of morality or romantic faithfulness like humans. All their actions are programmed by a single goal, which is the survival of the individual and the continuation of the next generation. The behavior of gifting material presents is actually an extremely sophisticated mate selection strategy. When a female accepts a gift from a male, she is performing a capability test. In the wild world, the ability to find food or gather resources is the clearest proof of the health and genetic qualities of a male. A male who can bring back to the female the most beautiful stones or the fattest prey is a male with good survival ability, good health, and outstanding survival skills. This choice helps the female ensure that her offspring generation will inherit the most elite genetic genes. This is a negotiation based on biological economic benefits, where the value of material things is exactly the measure of the reliability of the counterpart. Not stopping there, material gifts also play a role as a risk mitigation mechanism. Courting or mating are often the most vulnerable stages for animal species because they lose their high vigilance against predators. By gifting a present, the male has created a necessary pause for the female to focus on the gift instead of wasting energy on attacking or chasing away. This helps stabilize psychology and create more favorable conditions for the process of maintaining the species to take place smoothly. Without these gifts, approaching a mate would become extremely stressful and full of risks of getting injured. Thus, material things here have become an intermediary tool, helping to reconcile the instinctual conflicts between the two sexes. Another more interesting aspect is the development of intelligence. To carry out successful material transactions, animals are forced to have the ability to observe and evaluate the counterpart. When the bowerbird chooses the decorative items with the most prominent colors, or when the male fly wraps the gift packages with silk skillfully, they are proving their cognitive ability about the environment and the tastes of the mate. This promotes the development of the brain through millions of years of evolution. Any individuals who do not know how to use material things to barter will easily be eliminated because they cannot find a mate. This fierce competition has created an evolutionary pressure, forcing animal species to become increasingly smarter to carry out romantic transactions effectively. Material things, therefore, are not only a tool to court, but also a driving force promoting the evolution of intellect and cunningness in the natural world. Whether we name this behavior calculation or instinct, its ultimate purpose is still the maintenance of the resilient vitality of the species before the harshness of the environment. Material exchange is exactly the evidence showing that in nature, every action has a reason and no gift is free. We have gone from the penguins diligently gathering stones in Antarctica to the luxurious performances of the bowerbird and also the classic scams of the dance fly species. All are evidence for a truth that in the natural world, nothing is completely free. Material things, seemingly as simple as a stone or a silk gift package, are actually the most powerful survival tools. They not only serve the maintenance of the species, but are also a mirror reflecting the cunningness and intelligence of the creature species. We still often take pride in the complexity in the way humans express affection or the way we use material things to bond. But looking back at the world around us, do you see that we are actually just following those ancient instincts? In whatever form, the nature of the exchange is still searching for a guarantee and survival chance for oneself as well as the next generation. Perhaps, instead of looking at animals with pitying eyes or assuming they only act according to blind instincts, we should view them as highly capable negotiating partners. Finally, These material transactions remind us about the marvel of evolution. Nature always finds a way to solve the trickiest math problems with simple but effective methods. Every time you see an animal gift, a present to a mate, remember that it is not just a cute action, but a biological decision with careful calculation. The wild world is always vast and contains many lessons about pragmatism that sometimes we humans need to learn to understand more about the operating laws of life.